Thank you, Kevin. Well,
he is a high flyer indeed. David, thank you. Look at the opening lineup for the Memphis Grizzlies. They've got Anthony. Iverson is out there with Paul. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Morant in at the power forward. And for the Rockets, the post pairing for him, Smith along with Şengün. Then there's Kevin Porter. And it's Christopher in at the shooting guard position.
Boy, this hurts to have to bring up, but I was there for the Rockets title-winning days back in '94 when I was with the Knicks. I saw Houston in the finals firsthand.
Now here's Porter. Kicks it to Martin. Pass to Şengün. 6 to shoot. Porter looking it over. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. Back-to-back titles for the Rockets in the mid-90s. You were just talking. Talking about that, Greg, what sticks out to you about those teams?
First and foremost, the dream. Hakeem Olajuwon, he doesn't get his... at times, but the dream is one of the all-time greats. Olajuwon's defense really changed games.
And that outstanding drive and finish brought to you by Mobile.
And putting that pressure on the rim. That's what it's all about, threatening with that attack.
Iverson passes to Paul. Over Porter. And Paul with the basket on the assist by Iverson.
A solid shooter. Once CP3. Sees available space, he's going to take that shot.
Porter against Iverson. Porter, bounce pass. Pass to Martin. Lets the three fly. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. Here's Paul. Good on the shot. Paul's got his second bucket tonight.
No questioning Iverson's skill for moving the ball. A guy this open is an easy dime for him.
Outside, Martin. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistles. So a chance at the line. For one more.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Wow, that's a defensive breakdown. Can't do that against good scores.
And that one falls for Martin.
We saw glimpses of Ja Morant's potential in his first 2 seasons in the league. But year 3, both Ja and Memphis took it to another level.
Now here's Paul. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. And it's good for 2.
You see the game plan is working already. 4 straight makes to start this one.
Iverson against Porter. Smith scanning the floor. Lays it up off the glass. Another level indeed for Ja Morant, his 3rd season, Smitty, in the NBA. And now he has joined the conversation for MVP.
Kevin, that scoring average well over 25 points per game. Morant is the leader of Memphis. The Grizz finishing in the top 3 of the West. Incredible for a 22-year-old.
Şengün, and he banks in the layup.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Paul for 3. Opportunity. That one goes in.
CP3 is a smaller player, but he likes taking contact. Beautiful. And one.
The chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
So far for me, they found a lot of good shots in the mid-range. They've been fearless attacking with the jump shot.
And also, guys, they're out-muscling their opponent. The points in the paint are piling up because of that aggressiveness.
Now here is Martin. Smith the pass to Martin. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Christopher. It's rebounded by Paul. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for Memphis. They lead by 4, and the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting. The basket.
And now the first timeout call here for the Rockets. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
And defensively in that one, they needed to come up with big stops to quiet that crowd. And that's obviously easier said than done.
Yes, the other team is feeding off that enthusiasm. You have to try and match that energy.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Jackson, he's checked in for Leonard. Bain comes in for Ja Morant. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Allen Iverson. And with Kevin Porter Jr. and Michael Porter Jr. and Otto Porter Jr. Guys, I'm sensing a pattern here.
It can even get a little confusing at times, but no relation that I'm aware of. They're just Porters, Juniors, and quality NBA players.
And Tate gets it to go.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
And he gets it to go.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Down low. A nice shot by Garuba.
And how about Porter Jr.'s court awareness? Excellent job finding the open man with the pass.
And Chris Paul the bucket on the assist by Anthony. Paul's got 20.
Oh, he is in a zone. 9 of 10 here in the first. He is red hot.
And he bangs it home with one hand.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. I don't mean style points. So timeout called here. First for Memphis. GA, the Houston Rockets coming off back-to-back losing seasons, and that has been tough for that franchise and for the city.
And Kevin, no doubt it affects the team's morale. It's hard to find the positive and see the road ahead, but listen, you've got to stay strong and focus on just getting better every day.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Leonard, he's checked in for Jackson. Morant comes in for Bain. And Allen Iverson is subbed in for Tyus Jones. And that one's good by Porter.
A springy guard, Porter Jr. can rise up with the best of them.
Memphis leading by 7. Paul for 3. That's good. Great play set up by Iverson. Iverson's got 4 assists in the game. Here's Christopher, defended by Paul. Tate against Anthony. Tate, the pass to Porter. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark.
He has gone ice cold this quarter. Obviously not helping their cause.
And Iverson gets it to go.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Porter. Here's Garuba. And another shot. And it's sent back by Leonard.
This is the power of the claw in action. Kawhi Leonard using his gifts to gobble up that shot.
And so it's the Memphis Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies, 30. They are here.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And guys, the Grizzlies enjoying a nice lead here.
Throughout the first quarter, they did a great job of just running the offense.
Credit the game plan coming in. They've identified the right matchups, and the execution is there.
One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up. And they're getting points, they're getting stops, and this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Yes, when it's going good, it feels easy. These are the nights you relish, but you wins.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Now, Jalen Green is on a mission. He says, every time I step on the floor, I always have something to prove to who's ever in those stands. A lot of people will hate on me or have their opinions. I'm just going to think about that when I step on the floor. I'm going to prove everybody wrong. Kevin?
That's a great chip to keep on his shoulder. David, thanks.
The ball movement on this
are all in place. It's a matter of luck on the injury front and staying focused when the pressure's on in the biggest postseason games.
So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Morant. Anthony comes in for Brooks. Baines checked in for Chris Paul. And Jones subbed in for Allen Iverson. Leonard kicks to Jackson. Timeout called the Grizzlies.
And the defense of Jaren Jackson Jr., it has become elite. Triple J finishing top 5 in 2022 in the Defensive Player of the Year vote.
Offensively in his game.
Kevin, health. Jackson was finally back to 100% in 2022. The ability to kind of fully use his physical tools. And Jaren's still learning from playing night in and night out. Now living up to that massive potential.
Yes, that goes in.
Have to admire Paul's concentration.
Back to Martin. Here's Christopher. Iverson covering. Christopher, no good.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Paul for three. Knocks down the three ball. Paul's got 13 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Timeout called the Rockets.
Defensive Player of the Year before he ever made an All-Star team. Now, one of the 75 greatest.
At the elbow, Smith shoots over Morant. Another miss by Houston.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
All you see is a lot of frustration. Someone needs to step up and make a play to